Okay, I finished down there. Well, except for leaving a buffer. So I'm gonna start going behind the plow. If I get too fast, I can always go do some of what the plow did on the other side. I am on a narrower section though, so I'll have more turns. Well, I'm getting too close to where the plow is, so I'm gonna go do like the middle section over here while the plow gets a little more of that done. Let me start on this line and I'll go across. Yeah, that's getting too close to there. So let me go here, I guess. I won't go all the way to either edge. I'll leave at least one width of the disc harrow. It'll just make it easier to set the plow on those lines. Because then it won't turn into that side, because that side will be plowed. Which I don't know if it'll actually get to there, but I think I'm getting close to being out of the loam, so most of the loam would be done. I will try to get this middle section plowed out though, because that's all loam. Well, I got as much of that section as I want to chance getting done, and the plow is still not far enough ahead. So I'm going to grab the seeder and get the arm seated. Okay, I wanted 225 for this part. So let me reset and activate. Like, it's getting decently far ahead, just not as far ahead as I would like. But if I get this seated, that should be enough. Okay, let me end there. And that should be enough of a buffer that I can go to the next line and go up. And let me get the part of this arm done. I don't think that caught the very beginning. Okay, I should be able to get back to discowering behind the plow. So I'm gonna leave the cedar over here. That should be out of the way of even the worker. And go get the disc harrow. You can see what's been plowed and seeded now. The plow is a little harder to look at because the harvested purple is very close to the plowed purple. Now, it won't be the exact same line I was on, I don't believe. Oh, it actually pretty much is, even though I've changed the lines a couple times. I forgot that this was the one I was going to skip, but instead I will go up to here and then go to the next line. Now I am going to stop the plow when it gets to where it narrows it out, and then I can get it to work on this section. Well, the worker who is doing who knows what has finished the widest part of this. So I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm going to be coming back through here, so I'm just gonna not care too much. I'm gonna dig up some of what I've cultivated up and do a row here and then set them on the next row. There should be enough of a barrier that he'll stop at that plow line. Although maybe I want to fix that area a little bit. just to make sure that, there we go. So let me just get over here. Oh wait, I went up to there with the, it might be okay. I'm gonna start him and then I'm gonna make sure he turns and doesn't go through what I've used the disc harrow on. If he does, I might have to put a barrier. Let's see, is he gonna end there? No, he is not gonna end there. I thought that that might be close enough that he would still be looking for not plowed. So let me go across this. It's probably better anyway because this is, well, where the ground gets a little rough. It's where I had the, I was going to smooth this. That will give me a good basis of where I want to smooth it. Okay, now I'm going to start the worker. That should be enough that it won't continue and go through my nice smooth area. Well, I have this part all disc harrowed, and I put a buffer for when I put a worker on this section on the disc harrow, so I can get this part seated. And I'll be starting over on the bottom side, so I'll be able to see how the worker's coming along. Looks like he's doing all right. Let me go back a little further. I don't think I caught the beginning. Okay, it says the worker has completed their task. Not quite, but not bad either. So let me just finish this little section and then I can get him working on the disc harrow. There we go. I am done with the plow. Want to go out the smoother side so I don't bounce and dig up some of the ground when I'm not meaning to. And I can just put the plow over here and worry about cleaning up later. And I think I put the disc harrow over on this side of the field. Yeah, it's right over there. And then start them off on the narrowest section that's at an edge. Get to 0 or 360, whichever it shows me. And get the worker going on that. Well, it's getting dark. But I am on the last strip of this section. I don't want to go any further or I'll mess up the buffer I have between this section and the section that the worker's still disc harrowing. Well, I'm gonna have to mute that. I didn't hit the mute button in time. Allergies are the worst. But I'm gonna go fill this with seeds and then I'll get started on this section. I'm gonna have to get the worker to come take care of that. So let me go call the worker because I'm going to be too slow driving there. It wasn't plowed, so I won't be able to seed it if it didn't get the disc harrow. Not that this would really be the make or break section. It won't have much yield on it anyway. But likely that he was going to have a problem and think he was done anyway, so just get him started on this narrow section. I am expecting to have to do some cleanup here, but it won't be that bad because that it will be when I'm moving. And I might as well continue all the way down this one. And well, it'll be time to move the worker. But I'll get that little triangle seated after I move this worker. Let's see if I have to do some cleanup. Really? Just one little section? I thought there was going to be a few. They're usually pretty bad with the curves. Okay. I'm going to want to get this section done, but I want to make sure I have a buffer. Okay. That should be enough that I can get this section seated. Okay, this is the last tiny little bit of the area up here. I'm gonna go fill the cedar before I feed the last little section. That's going to be the I can't think of the, what is it, Silty clay? Yes, Silty clay. Oh, I thought it was on cruise control. So it's going to use the most amount of seed application rate. And I would definitely prefer to have enough seed to get through it instead of possibly running out of seed in the middle of a line. What's very awkward is I think those are very close to empty on both of those. 200 liters on that one. Okay, so there's 600 and something amount of liters between them. But I can condense that later using the cedar. Okay, let's go find the end of the seeded section here, which is right here. And then work my way down to the last of the field. Have to turn it on too. But I am almost done. I think I will be able to get this within 3 hours. And I am almost done. Just a couple more passes. And this field would all be wheat, with even a little bit of time to spare. And done. So the whole field is now growing, so is 9 in wheat. And I still have almost 2 hours before November starts. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave my John Deere there for now. It's been a long month, so I'm gonna worry about cleanup and putting away until the morning, which I'll probably sleep in for. And I'm just gonna go home.